Girls for turkey.
I'm going to show that to you.
That's specifically.
All right. Where's our lead-in music? I know you don't have it ready.
Why do you
they
ask
know what
these
it is?
questions
Have
if
you ever
know
listened
what
to
the
our
answer
podcast?
is? And then he changes the subject when I'm trying to explain it to him. Typical dad. What? Go ahead and ask their question because we're already started.
You're about to get him going.
What? I don't see anything.
What? Hey, it actually was kind of impressive. Looks pretty good. What have I been doing? I flew an airplane today.
Oh,
Good for you.
It hasn't flown in 3 years, and I hadn't flown in 6 months, so that felt pretty good.
good.
Okay, when are we going to start?
We're already
about our
recording.
Hi,
Hello. Welcome to Ken's Conversation.
I'm Ken.
I'm Kenny. And this is awkward.
How awkward is it?
Well, this is kind of a special episode because we're going to be talking about chicken sandwiches.
Oh, joy.
Joy to the world. And we're here with two special guests, Joe and Taylor Darkangelo. Say hi, guys.
Cue applause, please.
Yeah. What's up?
Oh, it's not on. Well,
Wow.
too bad.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
He'll edit.
All right.
I'll edit. I'll post it. I'll put the applause in that.
That's what was cool about the other piece of equipment.
Oh, and then
Look,
what?
could
Yeah.
change your voice. So
Stop getting close to the mic.
I like that.
You should have gone with that other one I told
I
you
can
about.
change.
This is the reason I gave you this stuff.
Hey, there's
You're
a
wasting.
like, oh, squirrel. Did you see that?
Are you ADHD?
I saw it too. I would be bothered by it as well.
Are you
I'm
ADHD?
glad Taylor
Are you
sitting by me.
ADHD?
I'm with you.
He obviously is because he's not paying attention.
Oh, sorry. What are we doing? Why are we here
We're
today?
talking about chicken sandwiches.
That's right.
And
Chimkin.
we did a blind taste test, and the results are in. But before we get into the results, how this whole thing started was basically, well, at least Joe and I, every time we would go to lunch, we would be like, you know, I always find, did you try their new KFC chicken sandwich? Or like, I always find Zaxby's or whatever a little bit better than the others. So, and then Dad and I talked about it, and then Taylor talked about it with Joe. So we decided to make it a.
And how did I talk about it?
You and I talked about it.
Like chicken sandwiches. So people
'cause you
actually
never have Chick-fil-A.
No, part of our conversation was people actually go out of their way to go like, oh yeah, have you tried the so and so's chicken sandwich? And I'm like, no. Have you had rocks in your milk before? No, who cares?
It's a chicken war conversation that's been going on.
It's not like one of my foods that I gravitate toward. I appreciate people like love their chicken sandwiches, right? But that's kind of how we got started too. About it's like, well, if I'm going to go out to eat, or if I'm going to take some friends out when they come to town, you know, thank you for coming to Lavergine City. We want to take you to a really great place.
Now they know where they're at.
Yeah. Let them figure it out. Anyway.
Can figure it out.
Oh, I don't know.
There's not, you'd be very surprised.
So
Anyways,
it's not like I'm going to take somebody to Opryland Hotel. That's pretty cool. They can go to the conservatory, right? Oh, and we're going to have chicken sandwiches. Ooh. I'm just all giddy. Can't wait. That's not me.
Yeah.
When it comes to chicken sandwiches.
Well, I think it's more on just like a lot of these restaurants all of a sudden are coming up with these new sandwiches, and it's basically like everyone else's, but they put in like a little bit of like their own kick to it.
Mm-hmm. I think definitely. And I even read an article about like in the age of like chicken sandwich, that we just went through like 2 months ago, like every week another company was like, oh, well, you've tried that chicken sandwich. We'll try ours. It's going to be launching this. And this is going to be our secret ingredient. This is our pinpoint that we're going to have on ours. Like we're going to have thicker and juicier pickles, or we're going to have a sauce, or we're going to have crunchy. Like I think Burger King, their chicken sandwich, which was awful.
Oh yeah.
By the way.
And their tacos.
It was awful. It was like so much crunch. It's like they fried it about 4 times and put it in a bag. And everyone has those foil bags now.
Bags now?
Eggs now.
Bags
Maybe that's a new
now.
company.
And it's like their rendition of the Chick-fil-A original. And it's like Chick-fil-A's just over here like, what? We've been doing this for years.
Yeah, we've been putting sugar in our chicken all the time. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
but everyone has like their own like pinpoint thing that they wanted to advertise with their chicken sandwich.
Yeah. And, you know, we tried it one night. It was late. And I've always said anything past 7:30 fast food, it's a gamble.
Right.
And the first time we tried the Burger King, it was terrible. So I gave it a second shot. Middle of the day, terrible.
That's two terribles.
Yeah, it didn't change. But then, like, Taco Bell had their version of the chicken sandwich, and then they got rid of it. And it was, like, probably the best one that I had.
Like a taco sandwich
that was her favorite.
or something.
So that happens, right? So Burger King, hello, notice to you. Flame broiled burgers, if that's what you like, stay out of the chicken business.
Yeah.
Right?
And the taco business, have you tried their tacos that they were trying to advertise?
That's the last thing I think about eating.
It was crispy. It was flat. It was garbage.
Hey, we're Taco Bell. We're going to serve Thai food. No, I think that's not where your forte is.
Not a good idea.
Unless you're Mexi China.
Yeah, Mexi China can do it.
Yeah, it kind of depends on where you go, but there's some people that just stay out of their business.
And then it's like, you know, like I get like all these like chicken places, like Zaxby's, that's a chicken place, and Chick-fil-A, that's a chicken place. But like these burger places, like McDonald's, like they just, I don't know, they kind of fell. They wanted to be a part of it so bad, but it just fell.
Now, kudos to my wife who told us before we started recording that we didn't try the Wendy's chicken sandwich. And true. Wendy's has been doing chicken sandwiches since I was a teenager because when I worked at Wendy's, thought I'm going to make my own lunch before we were able to make whatever we wanted to off the grill. Like we could make our, extremely crazy double, Wendy's sandwiches. Yeah, patty. Whatever we wanted to do. Yeah. So I fried up a couple of chicken patties and I built this big, as a 17-year-old teenager, I was going to eat like high on a hog. And I went home and got so deathly ill. I think I ended up having the flu, really. But because I had eaten those chicken sandwiches, that was... without being gross, that's what appeared when I got sick. Yeah. And I was like, and I think that's what turned me off too about the whole chicken sandwich thing. It's like, I am not eating chicken sandwiches when I go out.
Yeah. I understand what you're talking about.
It just stuck with me for the longest time. I just can't do that. Well, why would anybody want to eat chicken sandwich? But to give my wife credit that we didn't try that sandwich, and they have been doing it for a long time.
I always liked their chicken sandwich because they always felt like fresh ingredients. Now, given that the one here has been terrible with customer service here lately, I didn't believe that until a coworker of ours, Bill, he kind of was like, Wendy's, why did you want to go there? Like when we were saying we were eating at breakfast or something, he's like, why would you all want to go there? It's like they have really good food options, and then sometimes I'll go there for breakfast and they're very nice. Well, when I went this morning, they were not so nice. They were kind of gave me a dirty look for whatever reason.
Staff can definitely, and management can definitely ruin a good recipe or a good chain of restaurants. Because I've been to both sides.
Yeah.
Where, if it's management or staff that they're just not doing their job. Or, and I think I tasted a little bit in one of the first three that we tasted. What I was looking out for too is I think everything we had was fried, right? No, was there any that was baked?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Right. So restaurants that don't change their oil, or they share their oil with fish or French fries, and it's just a fryer. That was one of the things we did at Wendy's. We did chicken only and chicken oil that was used for chicken, and we changed it pretty regularly. Yeah. French fries only and French fries. And if you go to bigger restaurants, especially a lot of the fried stuff that down here in the South, right? You can always go and like they're doing their chicken in the fryers that they're doing a fried catfish. Stop. Yeah. Don't do that. No.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the same way with you. I like Wendy's. We didn't put them in there. I think statistically they have been underrated. And so I would advise anyone to try them in case. But the ones that we did try were Some of them are new. Some of them are kind of in the game. We obviously did the chicken place, Zaxby's and Chick-fil-A and Popeyes.
KFC is a chicken place.
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
getting there. I'm getting there.
I thought about that.
Even though they're mostly known for chicken, they're now into the chicken sandwich war race. KFC and now McDonald's have provided some new chicken sandwiches, trying to keep up. I think they're trying to keep up with Chick-fil-A.
And I'm not sure that I got the new chicken sandwich, because when I asked, she said, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Yes, I'd like to have the new chicken sandwich." She goes, "McDonald's." She goes,
"Oh, you definitely did."
I'm not sure that I know what you're talking about.
See,
just
I don't
a
think
minute.
they know what they have on their menu, because every time I ask them, like, "Hey, can I have your entree?" I'm like, "So you want the combo or the sandwich?"
Gosh.
I'm like, have it clearly on the menu, combo or entree, which is the sandwich by itself. And people think I'm stupid. And like, you have it on your menu.
That's why you have to give them numbers and
I finally
letters.
did. I finally said, just make that a 4A, please. Sandwich only. Oh, okay. I can do that.
Okay, but that's the thing. Like on their screen, it's just literally the numbers and it says meal. It doesn't have like chicken and whatever or
something by
anything.
itself.
It's just
I
the
worked at the
numbers.
drive-thru.
Like, I don't know what that is. But I was going to say too, just getting the chicken sandwiches was its own kind of deal.
Yeah.
It wasn't,
doing it the most modern way possible to get it the fastest way
gosh.
possible. You
So-
order it online.
yeah. So,
Oxymoron, fast food.
yeah.
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 Real.
Prove it. So our job, mine and Joe's job, was to secure the package. And so we were responsible for getting Chick-fil-A and Zaxby's and Popeyes. Our first stop was Popeyes. It was the closest to our house. And we literally left at 6:30 thinking, this will give us an hour to go to all three places. We understand it's Friday. We know, people are out and people are probably still getting off work, whatever. And they're just going to go get a sandwich. We know we'll run into some issues. We sat in Popeyes line for 30 minutes. 30.
They had time to go.
30.
30 minutes.
30.
And it's like when you drive up there, this all is to go along with like your experience makes or breaks the food. So like Popeyes, when you get up to the little terminal, the speaker thing, it's a robot that has the greatest customer service you could ever think of. And then it cuts short halfway into her great greeting of, Popeyes with this
Panda Express has
obviously
the same thing.
not happy employee saying, "What do you want?" I'm like, okay.
Thank you for that nice greeting.
Can we
Thank
make
you.
it known
I was
which
like,
Popeyes
Can
this
you
is?
give me the robot?
How about any of them? I had the worst experience when I went to MTSU. I'm like, can I have a chicken? And then they're like, all right, well, it's going to be a while. And there's like a bundle of chicken right behind them. Like,
Yeah.
So here, let me do the PSA. This is a message to Popeye's chain and the corporate office. You need to go out and check your, what do you call them?
Just do like
It's not even
When you
Popeyes.
buy a franchise, you need to go and visit your franchises on a regular basis to see if they are serving up to your standards.
Yeah.
And if not, you need to go watch the movie on Ray Kroc when he bought the McDonald's chain and find out
But
what
it's
they were
not
doing
just
and not doing.
Popeyes.
I know.
It's like, it's any fast food restaurant that I've gone to. And I'm sorry, y'all, but and when I say y'all, I'm speaking to any employee or managers that's listening into this. But Chick-fil-A is kicking y'all's butt as far as customer service.
And that's what my point was going to
Absolutely.
be. So, like, out of the three places, we had sat for 30 minutes at Popeyes, and even when we got up to the window, they didn't know what we had ordered. Actually, I heard the girl say, "Oh, I didn't even put your order in." I'm like, okay,
At
whatever.
Zaxby's?
No, it was at Popeyes.
Or, you're
But
right. Yeah,
so we
Popeye,
went. Then we went to Chick-fil-A. Smooth, easy. I went
Right.
inside.
In
I was
and
the
out.
only one in line, and he, gave me my sandwich. I was in there in and out in 2 minutes, maybe. Then I had placed an order before we had gotten to Chick-fil-A to go to Zaxby's, and
Online.
thinking, I placed it online, and it said, "Oh, it'll be ready by 7:14." I'm like, okay, great. It's just a sandwich. I should just be able to
One
walk inside
sandwich.
and get the sandwich. I go in there and I just stand there for like 10 minutes until somebody acknowledges me. I don't see, in the cubbies that they have created because of COVID for all of the online Uber Eats, whatever. And so I go up to her and say, "Hey, I have an online order." And she just looks at it and she's like, "What was your name?" Like, okay. Like, I don't know what name it may be under. Maybe under mine or my husband's, whatever. And so then she goes,
Taylor.
then she goes to her manager and she's asking a question like, hey, I don't really know what to do. She has an online order, but I don't think it's ready yet. And so the manager comes, she's like, can I look at your screen again? I'm like, okay, let me pull it back up. And then she's like, oh, it'll be out in a minute. We have to make it. I'm like, okay, hold on. What was the point of me ordering online 30 minutes ago now? Like for me to just stand here for 15 more minutes while you prepare a single sandwich.
So we get off topic sometimes. Like this is in its own right kind of a pandemic in this country. I think we have a lot of, I'm not picking on all of our sandwich restaurants and fast food restaurants, but we got a lot of people that don't like to work. I'm here to draw a paycheck, right? And they don't care about their job.
Yep.
Great. Granted, sometimes you're working in a fast food restaurant, not the best job in the world. I understand that. You chose the job. You got hired. At least act like you care about what you're doing while you're there. Have a concern. It's like, oh my gosh, it's 30 minutes in line. Can I give you something for that? Can I give you, it used to be like at Wendy's, if you had a long wait, you'd get to the window and they'd be handing you, hey, here's some Frosty tickets, right? Get you free large Frosties next time you come. I am so sorry. Is there anything else I can do for you?
That goes a long way.
People don't do that anymore. They don't even look at you when they hand you your change. They look away from the window. They got a hand out the window.
It's disconnect.
Well, and it's also different because like for restaurants that are busy, like, and they're trying to catch up with the orders, I can totally understand if it was like a 15 minute to 20 minute wait, if they were totally waiting. But it's like you said, it's like there's people that show up and then they're crying about being there or whatever. Maybe they're having a tough day. Like, I can understand if someone's having a tough day, they don't want to act cheerful in front of people or that specific day. I get it if it's a once in a while thing, but like, for example, I go to a Taco Bell and this guy just every single day just like, welcome to Taco Bell. I'm like, dude, cheer up! Like, and it's every single day I go to because I go to Taco Bell constantly, and it's the same guy. He's always sounds like he's just miserable there. I'm like, man, I wish I could help you, but sounds like you're having a tough time.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that we've learned, especially like, from Dennis, who is an old youth pastor of ours and mentor, and even, Brent, our interim pastor at church, has talked about just acknowledging people by their names, just trying to get that connection back with people, because they see hundreds of people a day. So they're not thinking about creating a relationship with anybody or even anybody really coming up there and caring about them at all. And I'm not saying, I know we kind of complain a little bit about the experiences we've had. And I think we're okay to do that in a way, but I don't go to restaurants expecting 5-star service ever. I kind of only
you're not
expect.
Going to complain that like, well, this had tomatoes, and I specifically
I ate the food
said
just
I wanted
fine.
whatever,
I don't care. Like, I got my food, but I did have to wait.
It's about our relationship as human beings.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. To me, that's almost more important than the food. Like you said, it's like, I'm going to come there and go, hey, Judy. And just like, they look at you like, how's the stalker know my name? It's like because I want to let them know that, and I like have fun, or I break up some other. So I'm like that Geico commercial where the guy's trying to teach the older people to stop doing stuff. Like, you don't have to mention the waiter and waitress's name.
Like
that's me.
Like we both went to the bank and then we were walking out together and he said, "I'll next time I'll bring popcorn."
It's because I'd already had a conversation with them about like, where's the popcorn? That's where you got.
I found it awkward, but anyways, moving on.
But I already had.
It wasn't awkward to him.
I already had.
Of course, it's not.
The name of the lady in her office. I was already out there talking to the tellers before you got there. Talking to the other two guys. I had everybody in the bank. We were all talking, having a good time. There was nobody else there.
That's true.
But and that's it. It's like.
But
I don't know if they talk about me later, but maybe they do. It's like, hey. Things aren't so bad. You do that
to everywhere you go as well, because like if we go to Moe's and sometimes they'll say, "Welcome to Moe's," and you'll be like, "Hey, well, how come no one's saying Moe's or something? It's like,
I say that
it's
at other
like one of
stores.
oh, yeah, and it's even worse when you go to other stores and like they don't know what you're talking about. Like some of them that probably doesn't even know what Moe's is.
No, it's like, I don't know, Burger Republic or somebody or somewhere. Anyways, somebody that doesn't do the Moe's thing, but they sound like the Welcome to Moe's thing. And I would go, oh, Welcome to Moe's. And they look at you like, no, we're not a Moe's. This is, Little Caesar's
Doesn't
pizza.
fit the theme. Doesn't fit the theme.
But it
If
changes
it was a
their
burrito
day.
place, that makes more sense than a burger
But
place.
I do it at the checkout
I
line.
think it's
You do it at a
just
pizza
the
place?
concept. It's just funny.
Yeah.
The easiest thing for me is I'm not good at identifying people's name tags or anything like that, but I at least, even in the drive-through when I'm talking to a machine, a window or a screen,
Yes, how the machine is doing.
I'll at least acknowledge them as yes sir, no sir,
Right.
Yeah.
and that shows respect. Even if I can tell if it's a kid I'm talking to, that's half my age, I at least try to give them some kind of dignity in that, So
Like at McDonald's, when I get the McDonald's sandwich tonight, a girl took my order. She was the one who's going, I don't know what that is. Let me check. When she came back and I just said, I'll just have a 4A and just a sandwich. And she goes, okay, that'll be $4.35. Is there anything else you like? And I laughed and said, no, that's fine. So I go around the corner and it's not her. It's a guy at the pay window.
Yeah, they do that all the time. They make
And
like
now
a switcheroo
it's
or
going to be
something.
they're not even going to have a person there pretty soon because the guy is got like the arms for our microphones here. He's just swinging the arm for the pay thing out to you. Here, you pay with that unless you're going to hand me cash. I'm just going to swing the little card reader out to you. And I'm like, why don't they just put a robot there?
yeah, it's going to go to cashless.
They've already got
drive-thrus.
kiosks. I mean, shoot.
But I'll ride around and I'll go, hey, you didn't sound. You don't look anything like the voice that I heard. Oh, she's at the next window.
I kind of also want them to start moving. I can see the bad side of it, but sometimes when I go to Subway, they have those touch screens that you can make your own orders and stuff.
Oh yeah,
I haven't been to Subway in a while.
And that I feel like, why doesn't everybody else do that? I know why Subway does it specifically is because, or at least the one here in Smyrna, there's a lot of people from Asia. I'm not going to say where. India.
They could be from New Jersey. Hello, my name is Judy. I'm here to help you.
But they kind of have a broken English, and I feel like if you tell them what they want,
I know what you're talking about.
They wouldn't understand as far as taking orders, and that's probably why I'm just guessing that's
because
probably why they have
I
a
don't
touch screen.
know.
We don't
I
listen.
noticed I have a love-hate for those kiosks. Yes, sometimes I do think I could do their job better, but also just depends on what mood I'm in. But also they can be so confusing too, because there's so many options. They give you oh, do you want this much lettuce or half lettuce? Then do you want half of a tomato or a whole tomato? Do you want this sauce and this sauce? And you have to go through this full list of options and add-ons. And you're like, I think I just want the sandwich.
Right.
Can I just have a sandwich? And then you
I'm going
don't-
to leave. I'm under stress.
it's very stressful because it's too many options.
When Subways first opened up, they came to Nashville. I can remember it well. It was back in 1985 or so. I could walk in close to where I used to work in Nashville and say, I want a BMT. I want this kind of bread. I want this, and this, list 3 or 4 things that I wanted on my sandwich. And the person, the guys in this case that were behind the counter, they had it down. They knew exactly what you said, and that's how they made your sandwich. There was none of this. Do you want this? And I'm like, I don't. What did you just say? I don't care about whether they're foreign or not. I'm talking about English speaking regular Americans
Helps if they know the menu.
that can't talk to you and say, "Would you like banana peppers?" And now they're talking behind this and behind the glass, and now it's masks and everything else, and you can't understand. And people, again, because they don't project. Well, what's my customer hearing? Right? Oh, I'm wearing a mask. I'm behind glass. They probably can't hear me, and they're talking down at the food.
Yeah.
It's eye contact, and it's like, hey, what kind of bread would you like with your sandwich? Right? It's all about that delivery.
Yeah,
and people don't care.
Right. And I think too, I'm one of those thinkers that I think very much so along the line, where did this end, or what is the root issue? You know what I mean? And I think the root issue is we are slowly as humans losing the art of communication. We are in such a microwave society. And I know some of these fast things, these fast food, fast internet, they're great. And yes, we can have things in 10 minutes or less, but we're losing communication with this. So like when you ask them anything other than, if you try to have any interaction longer than a minute with a fast food employee or somebody who is in such a fast paced workspace, they freeze, they freak out. And
get them off script.
Yeah,
that's what it is, right? It's like old Kmart days. They used to have on their cash registers the letters that was TIF sock. So now there's not many Kmarts around anymore. But I still go, where's my TIF sock? And they look at me like, what are you talking about? I go, I want my TIF sock. And they go, I don't know what you're talking about, sir. I go, what's TIF sock? I said, thank you for shopping at Kmart. They used to have the letters on all the cash registers, and you took the letters, and it was like TY, whatever, you know. So it's like, but they quit doing it. For a long time. It was kind of cool. It's like all they had to do, because every time they were getting change out of the drawer, there was that acronym, a bunch of letters to say, "Thank you for shopping at Kmart." Hey,
It could also be a leader perspective, like that's kind of influencing the rest of the employees. Like if you're going to be a bad manager as a person and don't try and get your group or your employees to be a better, not just a better worker necessarily, but also like be good at the next job that requires that much level. That it just makes you a better person in general. And so that way, as you grow older, you're ready for any kind of mistakes, like, oh, we're so sorry about the order, and maybe take things a little bit less serious about it. You know, and again, it's going back to the where we're expecting stuff fast. So like, you know, I could have probably made your order within two extra minutes, and then we take that for granted. But at the same time, it's like,
not just fast food, though.
It's not. I'm just saying.
We're picking on fast food because our taste test was involving fast food.
No, the fast food is just anywhere. It's just more in general because that's where everyone goes. That's where everyone like.
But if you don't want to do it, so in my industry, I think we've talked about. I work on airplanes, and we have a higher hourly rate than a lot of our, I want to say competitors, because we don't really have competitors, because it's kind of, people take their airplanes generally what's nearby or at the airport where they work if they can. But we get a lot of customers that bring us their stuff is because they're having the same problem with the people working on airplanes, which in a long stream, downstream effect of that is lower pay for guys like me, is because somebody's doing a substandard job somewhere. Right. It's like, hey, you don't put those kind of nuts ever around the engine. They have a piece of plastic on them and the engine gets hot and it melts. But we get these airplanes in, people do that. It's like, stop doing that. Why are you doing that? You're number one, it's wrong. That's the first thing. It's not correct from a safety standpoint.
Can't tell anybody that though.
Number two, it's like, don't you want your customers to come back? Don't you want it to be right?
But and it could also be ignorance.
Well,
to where,
I understand
like, they don't understand that how important that kind of a thing would be on a long term until they experience it for themselves.
So flip that directly to our experience that we've talked about with Popeyes, for example. We're going to pick on them a little bit. Do you want to be in the business? Do you want to have an open restaurant? Whether it's a franchise or it's the home office. What is your objective? Do you want them all to be tax write-offs? Maybe you do. Some companies like to have failures so they can write them all off for some reason. It's in some subset of company and they don't care because they're getting their money from real estate, not from the franchise. But in the same way, if they're in the business to make money and each one of the franchises is not doing great, or there's only a handful that are doing great and you got a bunch of ones that are always getting complained about, then my question is, why are you here? As a business, not the people. Why are you here? If you don't want the business to succeed, why don't you just shut the doors and let somebody else take over the building and do something else?
Well, reeling back to the chickens that we tried, do y'all want to know?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Come up out of the rabbit hole.
Do y'all want to know?
We just got real deep there.
So we had to split these up because there was so much chicken.
A lot of chicken.
we divided it the first group to be okay. I forgot to mention we did KFC, McDonald's, Zaxby's, Chick-fil-A, and Popeyes. Those are kind of the 5. The reason we chose those because here in our regional area, those have been the most popular chicken sandwich restaurants in this area, besides from Wendy's, which you go try.
I think we just forgot that.
You know what I think would be interesting to do, and I don't want to cut you off, is like maybe we can also share like what we think our favorite or what we know our chicken sandwich, our favorite is.
Do you
like,
want to do the first
but
group?
it could change based off of the results.
Group or the second group first? The second group's kind of
can we like
easy.
share what we not like based off of the results? I just mean like before
As a
coming
whole.
here, what was your was your favorite
What was
chicken
your favorite
sandwich
before we did the taste test?
Before we did the taste
Yeah,
test.
because you might go.
Because
Yeah.
I
I
think
didn't pick that.
mine has always been KFC, but I don't know
Really?
based off. Yeah, a KFC chicken sandwich.
Never really knew that. Mine was always
Chicken professionals.
it goes back and forth to Zaxby's and maybe Chick-fil-A, but recently it's been a lot of Zaxby's.
I would say recently, yes. But
And-
in the age of chicken sandwich, mine has stuck to KFC.
What about
It could be also what we
Yeah.
have been continuously eating too.
Well,
As to what we eat on a
Yeah.
You get a
continuous
palate
basis.
for that, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And you forget about what's actually out there. Like my opinion changed a little bit.
Yeah.
what was it
We'll see.
before?
Okay, so before I figured my top would be Zaxby's, believe it or not, followed by Chick-fil-A, but I think I flipped it because I think I know what I think I know what I ate. But we'll see.
I have no
I
idea
have
what
no
I ate.
idea. I forgot.
I ate a worm.
And you're not
Ew.
you're not known to eating a lot of chicken sandwiches.
So really, mine's pretty easy. If I'm going to go get if we all said, hey, I'm really, really super hungry and we've been up late watching movies and we want to go get a chicken sandwich and they're still open, where should we go? I'm going to say, well, it's not Sunday. Let's go to Chick-fil-A. I'm going to get a spicy chicken deluxe
Amen.
because even though I really like KFC's food, I like their chicken pot pies, their extra crispy chicken, I like all their food, but I wouldn't think of going there to get a chicken sandwich. I'm not like my wife. I'm not going to go to Wendy's, their hamburger place. I'm not going to go get I bet they have great chicken. Again, even though I've had that when I was 15, 16, whatever.
So
Anyway.
it would be mostly Chick-fil-A.
It would be Chick-fil-A for me.
Previously.
Yeah.
Okay.
None of the other chicken places.
All right. So how
Mine-
do we want to do this?
I don't know. You were
Well, I mean,
No,
we
she had
get.
an idea.
Well, I was just saying that was my idea. It's just like
I'll present
we
it before.
came in thinking we would know what our favorite chicken sandwich was, but
gotcha.
based off of the results, it may be
Yeah,
not what we thought.
What about you?
I already said mine. Zaxby was usually my go-to.
Gross.
You haven't
Zaxby's
tried
is
it. You don't
good.
really know.
The kickin'
How
chicken.
dare you? Okay. Yeah, I know, right? So basically, we divided this into 2 groups. We'll do the first one, and that was between KFC, McDonald's, and Zaxby's. All right. Do you want to guess what y'all like?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. hold
Joe's
on.
been itching
Yes.
for
So
this.
here's my rundown. Out of that group, my favorite was number 2, which is Zaxby's.
No, keep going.
Keep going.
The second one was number 1, which is this is terrible that I can figure this out. It was KFC. And the third one was McDonald's.
Are you sure you had those numbers right? Because what I wrote down when I asked you, you have KFC first, then Zaxby's, then McDonald's.
You said 2, 1, 3.
2, 1, and 3.
That's what he said was 2, 1, 3.
Did I write it down backwards then?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, this survey
We'll
is
never
now
know.
ended.
We'll never know.
Well, so what did you
Go
think?
to a commercial break.
So what did you think yours was?
Well, I just did 1, 2, 3, and I want to say that I picked KFC first.
You would be correct.
I know my chicken sandwiches. I'm just kidding.
And I think that I didn't pick Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I think I picked. Wait, so it was
Chick-fil-A was on the
between
second
Hold on.
group.
It's the same one in
KFC,
the first group.
Zaxby's, and McDonald's. I think that was my order. That's my order. 1, 2,
KFC,
3.
McDonald's, Zaxby's.
Oh, so the
Again, I might have the numbers mixed up.
no.
but I'm
I
pretty
think you're
sure-
right.
Okay.
You may be right on mine.
KFC, McDonald's, Zaxby's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't really like the Zaxby's signature, but I love everything else that they
one
have.
had a lot of pickles, like a big chunk of pickles in it, right? The Zaxby one.
I don't know.
I think so because I bit into
You may
pickle
have
taste.
just had a more of the pickle side.
Do you want to know yours or do you want to guess yours?
McDonald's was last in the first group for me.
Obviously, yeah.
It was flat
Uh-huh.
and like,
Gross.
Yeah.
it was
I was a little dry.
oh, wait a minute. That's a hamburger. No, it's chicken. I stuck it in there. And then I think I chose KFC first.
You did. And then Zaxby's. And I was so sure on mine. I had Zaxby's, then KFC, then McDonald's. McDonald's was...
It's just not there
It's
for
just
me.
like, wow, it's a chicken sandwich.
So
This is like no
that
flavor.
makes
Oh my
me
gosh.
think that
Joe-
that was not their new sandwich. And it's possible that we don't have it here yet.
I think we do.
No, I think
Yeah,
that
sure.
was.
Yeah,
It
it
came in the
was.
package. And
Did
usually,
it say new sandwich?
yeah.
Well, and you
So-
also got one of 3 models.
Yeah. So if it was 4A, that was one of their chicken sandwiches, the
Yeah.
new ones. But the thing is that like McDonald's, like Joe gets so mad at me that I don't get their new chicken sandwich. I tried and true will always and forever get the McChicken plain, and that's it.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
I would rather
It's-
have the McChicken
It's
over
called the
this chicken
usual.
sandwich.
When we go, I say the
It's the
usual.
usual.
Yeah.
Is it just
So-
bread and chicken?
Now,
So, like,
Mayonnaise.
seriously,
It's
not-
basically a giant
like-
processed chicken
Yeah,
nugget
but
on a
no
pat on
mayo
bread.
or anything.
Oh no,
nothing.
no. Mm-mm.
No
I usually get mine
sauces.
with
Well, she'll
mayo.
get ketchup.
Ketchup.
Oh,
That's what
look,
I'm asking.
I get
Yeah.
I get
Nor-
the chicken sandwich for the ketchup.
So the McChicken normally is the bun, chicken, mayo,
Yeah,
maybe
there's
some
like
lettuce,
hot lettuce.
and that's it.
And a lot of mayo.
That's why I get it plain.
But see, when I get McDonald's chicken, I get the 4B, which is the spicy one. It's the same
Mm-mm.
sandwich, but it's the sauce.
Saw that.
It's not the breading that changes.
Oh,
And it's not infused with spices. It's the sauce that goes on it. And sometimes they overdo the sauce, but the sauce is good.
made it
I
sound like they
it.
pray over each one.
Yeah.
Like infused.
Yeah, whatever.
can we do sound bites? Are we allowed to do sound bites if it's under?
We do.
Just keep talking.
Okay. I don't know how you're gonna do it.
Yeah,
but,
that's fine.
I don't like the sauce. I'm telling you,
Heather doesn't like
I
it.
don't
but-
like it.
So, and then the second group was kind of a landslide. Chick-fil-A. We'd rather have
100%.
Chick-fil-A than Popeyes, which the reason we did that because based on what I researched, it was like always Popeyes. Popeyes the best taking chicken burger. And I was like, I could beg to differ. And when we had it to the Chick-fil-A and Popeyes, and the reason that the at least this one, if that's their normal chicken, they must have put too much mayo or too much something to where like they covered it. Like they were like
It was
trying to
pretty
hide
covered.
their fact that like they know their chicken's not that great by itself.
I don't like Popeyes. So if I were to name them all based off of those numbers, it would obviously be KFC because I'm a winner. KFC and I guess Chick-fil-A. Those would be my top ones. Chick-fil-A is just a good chicken sandwich, and it was the best service out of the 3 that we picked out. Like they just got it. But I like KFC because their chicken sandwich. They know how to do chicken breading, and it just tastes good. Anyway, and then I guess Zaxby's would be McDonald's, Zaxby's, and then Popeyes. Popeyes will always be last to me. I get sick every time I eat there.
I will say this: I almost kicked Chick-fil-A to the curb.
Really?
Did you
yeah.
really?
Yeah, I almost did, but then when this may sound dumb, but when I finally got into the chicken, I could tell how moist it was and how juicy it was,
Right.
and I
There's
was
people
like,
out there that don't like that word.
whatever.
Moist.
But
Juicy.
Noise.
when I compared that to the McDonald's was really dry.
Yeah. For sure.
But it's when I eat the spicy one, it's the sauce that counters that, So that's what it did for me.
There's definitely a difference in infused herbs or whatever they put in chicken restaurants, the breading that they use, and then whether they add stuff to the sandwich just to make it different. That's where I was going to this old soundbite where the old movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High, when they were talking about what's your special sauce, and the guy goes, let's see if I can get it.
sauce? What's the secret sauce? Thousand Island dressing. What's the secret sauce of Bronco Burger? Ketchup and mayonnaise.
Ketchup and mayonnaise. Because they're comparing where this one guy used to work, and he said, "What's your special sauce for your hamburgers?" He goes, Thousand Island dressing. And he goes, "Why? What's it over here?" And he goes, "Mayonnaise and ketchup."
Yeah, I liked KFC's chicken because it was like I was actually biting into a juicy, fat, white chicken, moist chicken. But as far as like just a sandwich by it, like with that, I think it was up there. I don't think it was like as a sandwich itself. To me, it didn't compete with Zaxby's or Chick-fil-A. And so I would put, it's going to be a tough one. I would honestly put Zaxby's first, then Chick-fil-A, then KFC, but very marginally. And then I would probably put Popeyes, then McDonald's. Because these
are our biases.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I was kind of struggling when we were doing the test between Chick-fil-A and Popeyes, because Popeyes does have a good sandwich. I will give it that. It just, like, I don't know. I guess it just depends on how hungry you are and what you're hungry for and what kind of stuff you want in it. I don't know if I wanted that specifically. So
I could have done without it. I took one bite and I was like, I don't want this.
It's just too much.
I will say this, that my opinion of McDonald's goes back primarily to the sauce. It's not the chicken that I like. It's the sauce that I like.
And I think that too.
And
like
too much of it is not good.
Yeah.
I've had that before. And I was like, oh gosh,
we normally
terrible.
get the spicy anything. So like to me, like that will probably change some of my answers. I think.
So that's our next segment, is do the spicy sandwich.
Chicken tenders.
Let's do the spicy one first, then we'll do the tenders. Oh, we're gonna go.
I mean,
back
it would
to
still be KFC because I eat the spicy KFC sandwich, but after that, I would have to kind of. I think Chick-fil-A would still be number 2, but it would be a really close second because I love the spicy deluxe.
Jesus is not gonna be happy.
I know. Anyway, but after that, I'm honestly not sure what I would have to choose.
What was your intake on this whole thing, Dad?
My intake, chicken.
Not the chicken.
Oh, not that.
Your ranking.
Oh yeah, not what you intook. What is your intake?
What? In the second group, there was McDonald's was dead last.
Mm-hmm.
I have never been. I will eat Zaxby's, but I don't, because again, you kind of have to eat what's nearby sometimes. When you want to change up, my coworker's like, "Oh, I'm going to go to Taco Bell again." I'm like, dog meat sandwiches or whatever they call them. So I'm like, that's just a nickname. No, but that's just the nickname my coworker says sometimes. Forgive me, BW. But if that, and you like Taco Bell, it's not that I don't like Taco Bell. It's just like, it's not like, again, like, I gotta have it. No. So there's a Zaxby's nearby, and their chicken tenders are okay, but I have always felt that Zaxby's, to me, everything, of course it's all fried, but for the most part it tastes that way to me. It tastes fried. It tastes a little extra oily or greasy than some of the other stuff.
Okay.
Again, whatever magic Chick-fil-A is doing to their chicken and their tenders and their little tiny breakfast bites and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pre-blessed.
It's, and there's definitely, it's not because I've heard other people say it. I go, their chicken is sweet. They're definitely putting some kind of sugar in their breading or something, and it tastes good. Right. We love our sugar, but the KFC, you just can't go wrong unless it's a bad run restaurant. Now, I would love to, if our drives permit it, and if it's not a weekday, I would like to, I'll make an extra effort to go to a Popeyes that I know is okay, that's in Nashville on Murfreesboro Road, and go to that restaurant and go get their food and see if it's different. Other than the fact it might be a little cool by the time I got back, but and I'm leaving one out.
You haven't even ranked them. You're just describing each one.
Yeah, I'm kind of didn't rank them. Like McDonald's was last.
Yeah. That's as far as we got.
So we had. So what did we have? We had McDonald's, KFC.
We have McDonald's, KFC, Zaxby's, Popeyes, Chick-fil-A.
The Popeyes that we had tonight was second to last.
Second to last, okay.
So I'm back to
KFC, Zaxby's, and Chick-fil-A.
Zaxby's would be third.
Okay.
And I know we can't tie them, so I'm going to put Chick-fil-A first and then KFC. But they're probably really close because they're a different sandwich. Like if I want more crispiness, I would go to KFC.
Absolutely.
Chick-fil-A is going to be like the apples among laptop computers.
Kind of.
They're kind of like, they're always going to be up there for any kind of categories or whatever.
You can always, it doesn't matter where you go. That's the difference that they've done with their chain. Consistency.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if it's at a mall. It doesn't matter if it's at a drive-through or if it's a walk-in place or you go from here to Texas and states in between. If you order a spicy chicken deluxe, that's what you're going to get. Yeah. And that's the
with a smile and a
thank you. I will say,
my pleasure.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yes.
They wouldn't dare say thank you.
Have you not seen the TikToks where they train their employees to boot camp? What do you say? My pleasure. My pleasure.
Well, I even have comebacks for that. Well, it'll be my pleasure to serve you at the window and go, it'll be my pleasure to pay you and get my change.
The thing about Chick-fil-A is every time I go in there, there's like 13 employees that you can see working. I mean, they've got a door so you can't really see exactly, but there's like just in that little short, drive-through area, they've got 4 of them outside, then they've got 13 of them. Just this person's doing fries, this person's packing chicken sandwiches, this one's handing them out, this one's doing milkshakes. Like everyone's
I think
busy.
KFC is real close to that.
Really? I haven't been inside in a while.
I think that
we can't go inside right now.
My analogy goes back to my aviation thing. Which airline consistently always does the best? Pick one. Which airline do you think always does the best?
I don't fly a lot.
Even without knowing.
I would assume Southwest.
Oh, I was going to say Delta.
The both of you just said Southwest and you really don't know.
Yeah.
It's because I've got this book somewhere that says The Southwest Way or something. I forget the title. Forgive me, writers out there. But this guy did this multi-year study as to why is this one airline, or in this case, why is Chick-fil-A or KFC, why do they always stand out on top? What's the deal? Do the employees look disgruntled at Chick-fil-A? Never. I've never seen a Chick-fil-A employee looking, I hate being here. I'm only making minimum wage or whatever. Mm-hmm. But you go to a lot of the other fast food restaurants and sometimes the people, we all have bad days and nobody knows what's going on behind your day or my day or their day. But when you're on your job and that's your job and it's public facing, you put on the face, right? You come out and that's who you are. So how do those businesses, Southwest Airlines, Chick-fil-A, how do they succeed and everybody else isn't?
I think they invest in their employees.
Absolutely. Right. It's a big difference to say, look, what do I need to do to empower you, number one, as an employee? And how can I make you enjoy your day here? Right. It's all about the employee, not about greed management. Yeah. And are they making a profit? They're making a killing.
They also try
but that's not the focus.
They also try and find some sort of solution, like whatever that may take. Like when the pandemic hit, I'm pretty sure almost all Chick-fil-A restaurants decided to cut their drive-through wall so that employees can come out. And then they have a new system where like they have like a storage wall of packets or stuff that whenever runners are coming up, they can just grab it from there there and then give it to the next car. And then sometimes Chick-fil-A is like, it's like almost like you're going for a vaccine because they have these cones everywhere in their parking lot. All right, if you're going for online orders, you drive this way, and you just follow the cones to wherever you need to go to. They've
King of the
adapted.
drive-through.
They found out solutions, and they did that even before that. They did that when they knew that they were getting so much people going to the drive-through. I'm like, this is a good problem. We got to do something to keep things going.
Yeah, because they came out with tablets way before COVID
and
ever hit.
I saw Starbucks starting to do the same thing for their employees.
They're late on
now
this.
they're finally catching up on that. Well, yeah, but so they did that, and then they found out because their employees had to stay outside that they could get heat stroke or severe weather. So a lot of them are now putting these pavilions on the drive-through, so that way the
with fans.
Yeah, with fans.
It looks like you're literally loading into a roller coaster at an amusement park.
So which businesses typically succeed during any type of downturn? It's those businesses that go, we can't do things the way we've always done it. And the insignia that used to be as a big banner at one of the places I worked here locally on the wall said, there is always a better way. And they used to drive that into us. I pulled book orders in a warehouse, and they would, I'm a warehouse worker. What do you mean there's always a better way? Well, if you're thinking about what you're doing every day, it's like, hey, every time I go around this corner, I'm tripping over a forklift. Guess what? Move the forklift.
Yeah.
There's a better way to do this. Hey, maybe we need 5 forklifts so that everybody goes around and sees the other thing. I don't know, whatever it is. Businesses that succeed, the ones that always succeed are always, I don't want to say changing, because I've also worked at companies who did changes like every 6 months.
Yep.
Like they felt like there was some VP somewhere that said, we have to do these changes. And we're going like, why?
We're forcing it.
We're already doing great. And this new change is not going to make us better. And it didn't. Well, and they kind of enforce those things into you. And it becomes the new culture, and it's the new set of buzzwords in a Fortune 50 company that I worked for, and it's like that's not a reason to do it, but a reason to change is to adapt. I'll stop with this. We all know that one of the best shopping experiences online, this is a little plug for Amazon, right? Their experience for most people on their website is one of the best shopping online experiences, just the way it navigates, the way it gets there. Well, when I worked at a big computer company, I suggested that because they were asking for suggestions. How can we get better? We need to adapt. We need to make our customers were complaining about the website. I said, who does it better? You've got your own developers and writers. Why don't you copy what somebody else is doing? Not copy from a legal standpoint and get in trouble, but why don't you design something so that it is more attractive for you to have customers be drawn to doing your business? And I don't think that happens with the restaurant business all the time.
No.
Taylor was going to say something.
Well, I was just along the lines of what you're saying is companies who change every 6 months. And
Taco Bell.
Well, not even just physically, like their foods, and it confuses the consumer, but like just companies, and I won't name any names.
I did not hear that whatsoever.
That's okay. I didn't want you to hear it. I just wanted to say
it's a French word.
Say Burger King.
Nope. They changed with every political climate that was going on. They wanted to not only be in like the political mess that was going on, but they wanted to be the forerunners of it. So like anything that would change in politics or movements, like they had to be at the very front lines.
Let's get on that bandwagon.
Oh my gosh, that's a whole nother story. And the last thing, that's the thing is that like as a consumer and as somebody who does enjoy shopping and eating, I don't care what you think. I mean, like politically. And I don't expect you to care what I think politically.
Oh, you talking about like you don't care what companies think?
Yes.
Like name brand,
that's the
whatever.
last thing I am thinking about. Walking in your store where you stand.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm coming in there to find my shampoo and conditioner or this shirt that I think I might like, or even just to walk around and then just enjoy being out and doing errands.
I'm so glad you think the Statue of Liberty should be taller. I wouldn't have bought these oranges if that wasn't the case, right? That's what you're talking about, right?
But they
I don't
just
care what your
throw
political
it
driven thing
out
is.
there and in your face. And it's like, I don't... why? Why does it matter now? Why it only matters now, and it'll only matter for 5 minutes. And it's hard for me to take businesses seriously when they're changing, like you said, every 6 months because of like political or whatever things going on.
Do you go somewhere else if that becomes, even if it's the business that you really like going? At what point do you not go there anymore unless you absolutely have to?
I think it really kind of depends on the employees. Like for some, I think what you're on the same boat is like has to do when I get up in the morning and go to a certain place to get a cup of coffee. But the employees there that work there are very generic, like people that want to help you and all this other stuff. So I usually go for that. But, you know, like you said, if all of a sudden things start to change and then they look at something else, I'm like, well, then I don't really care. I don't really care where you stand. I really just need something to get throughout the day.
And I may be saying I don't care is kind of very like insensitive. I don't want to sound insensitive when I say that. But what I'm saying is like when you dive into politics as a business, you are asking your consumer to pick a side. Right. Because you're saying you pick this side. Mm-hmm. So the consumer who is not in line with that side, you're not offering them the customer service and guest loyalty that you say you're going to offer every guest that comes in there.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying is like politics and movements and all these things need to stay out of these retail stores and big grocery stores or whatever, or, you know, establishments that are big name brands, because you don't realize the damage that you're doing for your other guests.
And I think as consumers in this country, particularly with all the political stuff that's going on, we should most definitely have opinions to say, I'm not coming to your store based upon your blue or red category or yellow or green or whatever. I'm not shopping here for that. Mm-hmm. If you're going to stand on that, I'm going to take my business somewhere else. I can buy a shirt somewhere else.
Yeah.
I may have to pay more, or I may not be able to get the shirt that I like because it was one of your lines of shirts and it was my favorite, but I'm making a choice. And the people in this country we cave too much. We go, oh, okay. Right. And I don't go even for lumber supplies. I don't go I call them the enemy. I don't go there. I don't go there because of the way I was treated. Now I go in there occasionally and I go, and it's just like when I used to go into another big box store and it's like, what did I come in here for? I know they don't have what I want. Why did I come in here? But I thought I'd give them another chance. Right. And I still do that. There's occasionally I go into the enemy's big hardware store and I go like,
more often than not.
Wait, but most of the time I go in there and I go, I can't find what I'm looking for. It's just not an experience that I like. Yeah. So I choose to stick with the one that I like. And I know people that are the other way, right? They like the one that I don't like. But for me, it was because of something happened in the past. They wouldn't help me unload my station wagon. They wouldn't help me load it up and treated me.
Forgotten that.
I haven't forgotten it. And that was, you were born. So it's almost 30 years ago.
Was it 30 years ago? Because you complained about it when we were living here. Not here. I'm talking about here in our old house.
No. Yes. Well, it's because we moved.
Because I would hear you come home and be like, and I'm like, just like that. And then I was like, why don't we try going here?
That's what it sounded like at his age.
That's the enemy.
Well, I will say this. Speaking to that point, for the last 15 years, I've usually bought like music equipment, audio gear from a particular big box store, online store, right? And they always offer really good deals and all that stuff. And I usually shy away from the local stores because the prices are higher,
right?
And they're kind of hit or miss, whether as far as what they have. and what they can get and the price they can offer. So about 2 years ago, I ordered some parts for church, and I got them in, and I bought them with points, right? I never gave them a credit card. It's just points. And so basically it was free. Well, I received the parts, got them in. 2 years later, this is about a year and a half later, this was about 6 months ago, I started getting these phone calls that, hey, your back order of like 200 of these things are finally in stock. But they're kind of stuck where they don't have a credit card to charge. They don't know what to do with them.
Right.
So they want you to buy them.
They keep on calling me and keep on calling me and keep on calling me. Hey, we got this order. And I keep on telling them, please stop calling me. I never ordered them. Someone screwed up and you're going to have to deal with it. At first it was nice. The second time it was nice. The third time I was nice. The fourth time, fifth, sixth, and now the seventh time I have not been very nice.
Yeah.
It's gotten worse and worse. And then fast forward to last weekend, I had rented some gear for our church, and this is locally just down the road, down in Murfreesboro. And the guy was super nice. He was having some computer problems. I was walking around his store while I was waiting, and I was going to pick up. I was like, hey, I need some windscreens, like on these microphones. I need some windscreens because we're doing an outdoor event.
Right.
I get them in, or I grab them, I put them on the desk, and he said, I'll tell you what. You can have the windscreens for free, because I was having to sit there and wait for the system. I was like, you know what? That goes a long way. Just like the whole Frosty thing.
That's right.
It goes such a long way. Now, you know what? The whole time we've been renting, I've been wanting to buy. Instead of buying from this big box store, I may go to him and buy.
And it might be worth the extra $20 or $30 more or whatever it is. Sometimes it's, especially if you want to deal with somebody local that you can go talk to.
Yes.
The online solutions are not always the best.
No.
And
convenient, but it's not always.
Don't forget to always escalate. Ask to speak to a manager or director or somebody, and don't get off the phone until they give it to you. And if they do, then you can start. I can write letters for you.
I will say you can do that with Amazon, but that's another story.
Oh well, you
as a seller, no,
you haven't dealt with me.
You haven't.
You need to write
us.
a letter to their company.
Who got new seats and a whole parking lot covered in another town?
Yeah, but who did you contact? Amazon or the seller?
I contacted the home office. So
of who?
We won't go there.
Mr. Bezos.
He doesn't know.
Yes, we do. A place that has mucho películas.
I'm just saying, is it the Amazon or the seller? That's what I'm asking.
Just if you have problems, come see me.
Well, that'll about do it. That was our chicken war.
Chicken war.
Chicken and customer service war. So if you have interest in building a business, make sure you invest in your employees and also invest in adaptable, things.
And if you work at one of these places and you disagree or you have an opinion and you want us to know about it, hey, Ken's crew's here to listen. And if you have other topics you want us to talk about, we're happy to do that too. We absolutely loved having Joe and Taylor here with us today. And Kenny is here over there.
I'm just going to let you clap it out because it looks like you're doing
You're doing a great job.
You do it. I'm just the sidekick. This is actually Kenny's show.
But you are Kenny.
Conversation
and who are you?
Both of our shows. I'm your son.
That's not how it ends. You need the outro. You need to go listen to our podcast.
I do. What do you do?
I work.
I'm Ken.
I'm Kenny.
And this is our Ken's Conversation.
We got that all backwards.